Winner says if it's to be, it's up to me. Loser says I can't help it. Folks, we all have heard many self-made success stories. Have you ever heard a self-made failure story? Probably not. They always blame somebody else. You ask any failure, success is a matter of luck. They'll always tell you that. I've been asked, success is tough. I say, of course it is, but you try failing if that's easy. I'll tell you, failing is a lot tougher than success. Going back many, many years, I was in Toronto. I heard a story of two brothers. One was a drug addict, drunkard, used to beat up his family, and his blood brother had a great business, wonderful family, highly respected all over. Some people wanted to find out how could two brothers of the same family be so apart. So they went to the druggie and asked him, how come you do all the wrong things? Where do you get your motivation from? He said, my father. He said, what about your father? He said, when I was a little boy, he said, my father was a drug addict, drunkard, used to beat up my family. That's what I used to see. That's what I am. What do you expect me to be? So they went to his brother who was doing everything right and asked him, where do you get your motivation from? And guess what he said? The same thing, my father. He said, what about my father? What about your father? He said, when I was a little boy and I used to see my dad do all the wrong things, I made up my mind, I'll never be like him. They are both drawing strength from the same source. One is using for the positive, and the other is using for the negative. Many times we think we're taking the easier way, which ends up to be the tougher way. One time, there was a lark sitting in the forest singing, and a man came by with a box full of worms. He was taking them to the marketplace to exchange them for the feather. The lark said, look, I have to hunt my own worms every day. I have lots of feathers. Why don't you give me the worms, and I'll pluck and give you the feather. It'll save me hunting, save you going. Seemed like a good trade. And the lark got the worms and plucked the feather, gave it to the man. Next day the same thing happened. The third day the same thing happened. The fourth day, till a day came, the lark had no more feathers to give. It couldn't hunt its own worms. Stopped singing very soon. The lark died. What is the moral of the story? Very simple. What the lark thought it was taking the easier way ended up to be the tougher way. Folks, that's the key. There are no shortcuts in life, and many times when we start taking shortcuts, we start compromising our values. Successful winners accept responsibility. Losers always blame someone else. They play the blame game. You know what the blame game is? My parents did it, teacher did it, company did it, economy did it, country did it. Somebody else did it, my star did it, horoscope did it, fate did it. I never did it. They will never accept responsibility. Folks, success is a matter of laws, and it's not a matter of